Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome. You are tuned in to the hottest blog on YouTube, bar none, hands down, no debates. It's Big Mike's blog. Welcome. I am Big Mike, your humble host, coming to you from a different location. Notice normally I do my blogs at my home in Toronto, but I'm actually in New York right now. I'm on a little mini vacay. Decided to get out of the city for a bit, so I figured I would switch it up a little bit and do a blog on my experience in NY, the lovely, beautiful Big Apple, and give you my. I wasn't here long, so I'll just give you a brief synopsis of what I did and where I went and and what I bought, and we'll go from there. And I kind of want to make this a normal thing where I do this every time I travel, where I'll do a blog where I am, kind of just to mix it up a little bit as well. Because part of one of the things I love to do as well is travel, and I do want to see this great, big, beautiful world that we have. So before I part from this earth, I want to see as much of it as I humanly can. So on that note, I'll just give you a brief synopsis of my experience in the NY so far. So I got in yesterday. I got in yesterday in the afternoon. Um, Unfortunately, it took me a while to get to my hotel. Not so much getting the flight was fine. I actually did a longer flight. I actually flew from Toronto to Montreal because it was cheaper that way. And then from Montreal, I flew to New York. So the flight itself was fine. That wasn't really the issue. The issue was the shuttle because I had booked the shuttle actually to take me from, from the airport to my hotel. And I got into JFK at around, I'd say about 4-ish. Like by the time I did everything, I got my bags and everything, that was like 4 o'clock. I didn't finally get a shuttle until almost 6. No, sorry, almost like 5:45, because the shuttle was taking forever because it's like rush hour. So I didn't actually get to my hotel finally until about 7. So it was a long trip, but it was really cool to kind of drive into the city, and you kind of got to see a good sense of what makes New York New York, the hustle and bustle, and there was so much traffic and so much people, and there was so much buildings and everything. It was a little bit overwhelming at first, but it was really cool at the same time to see that. Um, so I was able to traverse into the city no problem. So we got to my hotel finally. Took a shower because I was sweaty and I just felt grubby and gross. I actually ended up meeting up with my friend shortly after, and we went walking around. We actually went to Bubba Gump Shrimp Company. So if you don't know who Bubba Gump is, it's from Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump's friend Bubba, he had his own shrimp company. So they actually made it into a restaurant. And if you ever get a chance to go to the restaurant, it's really amazing. They have really good food. The whole restaurant is basically like a shrine to Forrest Gump. They have like the movie in a loop. They have different quotes from the movie. They have T-shirts from the movie, um, drinks like mugs and stuff. They have everything in that store in that restaurant. Great place actually. It was really good, and the service was really excellent too. Really good service too. And I had a shrimp po' boy for the first time in my life. Yes, last night at that place. So it was really delicious. So we did that, and then we walked around Times Square. And I've never experienced Times Square before, so to actually walk around Times Square and to see it was crazy. Because I mean, again, for those of you who don't know, like I lived in New York for a year, but it was when I was 3 years old, and we lived in Queens, and we never came out to Manhattan. So when I could book this trip, and I said I wanted to come to New York, I wanted to actually experience Manhattan. That was like one of the biggest draws for me coming here. So the fact that I was able to actually experience Manhattan and experience Times Square at late at night was ridiculous. Like the amount of people that were there late at night was nuts to me. Um, and it was just like a sea of people. Like Toronto just is not the only time Toronto gets that busy is Caravan weekend, which is oddly enough this weekend. But New York was just crazy busy. Like probably now it's probably busy as hell there. And I was out today in the rain, and it was busy in Times Square too. So just to put in perspective how busy that place gets. So, and I was near where the ball drops, and it was just really crazy. Like the people there are funny. They had this guy playing the drums, and everything, and then he was yelling at people because they weren't giving him any money. They were just watching him play. So it was really entertaining. It was a really fun, interesting night to be walking around. So today, I did more shopping than anything. I did a little bit more exploring as also, but mostly today was really a shop day. Wanted to kind of get some shopping in, so I did do that. I bought some shot glasses for my coworkers actually, because they're awesome people. So I wanted to show them some love and bought them some shot glasses. I also bought some cookies from this place called Schmackeries, which a friend told me about. So I'm anxious to taste them and see what all the hubbub is about. Um, I went to this one place called Little Italy's Pizza because it said Little Italy on it, so I assumed it had to be good, and it was good. It was very good pizza, really big slices of pizza. I wanted one of the other things that I wanted to do when I came to New York as well is to have a big old New York style pizza because I haven't had that in forever. So I was able to get that as well. Um, and I also bought some other stuff. Like I bought this I Love NY T-shirt. I bought this black one. I bought a white one as well, which I wear tomorrow. Bought this lovely hat. I mean, it is a Yankee hat, which is he seems a little bit regular, but the only difference between this hat actually and my other Yankee hat is that this hat is actually from the 2000 World Series. So it's a little bit different than the other hats that I've owned in the past. So took the tag off. I just realized the tag was on there. So I bought this hat, and of course, being a sneakerhead, I bought shoes. Okay, so rather than doing a whole new blog on shoes, I'm just going to give you a brief synopsis of the shoe that I bought and why I bought it and what I did to it. So these are the shoes that I bought today at Flight Club, which is an amazing store, money store. So if you ever get a chance to go to New York and you're a sneakerhead or you just love shoes, definitely check out Flight Club. They have every single shoe known to man, like it's there. The only thing is they don't have any signage in front of the place, but it's a really good place if you want shoes. The only issue with Flight Club is that they're really overpriced. So if you don't, but you'll get the shoe that you want if you really want the shoe. So, but just know that you're going to be spending more than you want, than the retail. You'll spend way more than retail on the shoes. So just to keep that in mind. But I bought these shoes there because I couldn't find them anywhere. So I bought them at Flight Club in my size 13. And these are the Jordan Metallic 5s. Okay, these are similar to the Pro Star 5s that I showed in other blogs, but this one's a little bit different. These are actual Jordans that he actually wore in a game for starters. And I just love the shoe. It's a really, really clean shoe. You see the bottoms right here, very clean. Has the big Jordan sign here, and then it says Nike right here if you can't see it. But the one difference actually between this shoe that I have and the shoe that they sell in the city, or sell in the store, sorry, is that this lovely shoe has white laces. The other ones have black laces. Now, why do you have the ones with white laces, you ask, Michael? I actually decided to change it up, and actually I put the white laces on these shoes instead of having it as the traditional black laces. I'll tell you why. So I was watching a YouTube clip a few weeks ago from this the sneakerhead Jumpman Bostic, and he has literally over 840 pairs of Jordans. That's the only shoe he wears is Jordans. So he showed this shoe, the old school version, like the one that came out when Michael Jordan was playing, and it was like this area right here. If you notice, this area was turning, like it was fading a bit, but then he had it in white laces. And I was curious because I'd always seen this shoe, but I'd always seen it in black laces, so I was curious. So he had told the story about how Michael Jordan actually wore this shoe with the white laces in one game, and it was against the Milwaukee Bucks. He never did it again. It was just a one-time thing. And when Jumpman Bostic saw him wear it with the white laces, he thought it was really cool and said, I'm going to make my Jordans into white laces instead. So that's kind of how he changed his up and switched it up to white laces. And I thought it was an interesting story. And when I saw these shoes with the white laces, I thought that it brings out the shoe a little bit more, and it makes the shoe pop a little bit more as opposed to having it with the black laces. So I decided to switch it up. So if you see these on the street, most people, I'll tell you, 80-90% of the people are just going to keep them in the black laces, but the white laces, I think, bring out the shoe a little bit better. So this is one of the things I bought. I'm very happy with this as well. So yeah, and overall, I would say my trip was really awesome. I wasn't here for a very long time. I was only here for a few days. So I'm heading back to Toronto tomorrow. But it was a great trip. I've been on vacation for about a week now, over a week now, so it's been a really good vacation, much needed vacation. So I was able to kind of get my head right, and I was able to just enjoy myself and enjoy just the experience of just being off, and then being able to get out the city as well. So it's been really good overall. Um, so yeah, overall, I would say my trip was a success. Okay, and so this is me signing off. It was a very short blog. I know it wasn't me talking your ear off as much. I just wanted to give you a kind of overview of my trip. Actually, and about this wristband too. I forgot about that as well. Anyway, but this is me signing off. But I want to thank everyone out there for watching. Keep tuning in. Keep supporting. If you have any tips, yeah, tips, advice, any topics you want me to discuss, feel free to hit me up. Any feedback is good feedback. So any comments you want to make on this blog or any of my previous blogs, feel free to do so. So this is me signing off. Take care. Peace and love.